Hello, everyone! This is Twilight Akami, and I'm back with more Katawa Shoujo. Now, due to your comments, we shall be asking about Shizune's deafness. Shizune intrigues me, and I kinda wanna ask something about her. I can't really ask anything about something that personal, can I? I can't come up with anything else to ask, I just focus on my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune signed back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrained from translating. Maybe they were talking about secret girl stuff or something. Well, isn't that a typical boy thought? I quickly notice a conversation inside is not enough to fill the silence. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. The dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over her desk at the last row. She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it, as I walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students and finally the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Someone needs to get loud. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hik-chan. We got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Ah, wait! The teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. Is it now that I deal with it or no? We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell outside, with the girls pointing out other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. Oh, nope, the funny thing doesn't happen now. We get outside, the girls make their way to the small building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually part of the main building. This is Octillery building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yakamuku Foundation office and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool! How is that official? Don't be silly, Hik-chan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Of course? Is that what I just said? Jeez! Twilight Okami can't read today. Anyway, the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education. I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in, hoping that this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text, Head Nurse, and a nameplate. A voice from the inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large, and it smells strange. A friendly man turns on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Wait, guys, it's Tony Stark! No, it's just awkward cousin. Hello there, what can I do for you today? He's a young-looking man and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. That freaking smile, man! Why, yes, I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name or just the nurse, like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right. I'm a new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Shizune. His eyes light up with revelation, and he snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nakai! I was just reading your file in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related cardinal heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yes. Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there is a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Bloody wonderful. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. Was that an attempt at humor? Thank you, Heizo, for agreeing with me. His joke feels so out of place that I am left thinking why he even said it. Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people at a school. You'll get used to it. You have no choice. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now, let me just find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of papers around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark gray laminate flooring, and all the equipment you expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day and from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So you already have the medication for arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? Why? Why is he so secretly Little Mac? He grins to his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that. At least for the time being. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really, I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. Guess I never really did it out of burning passion for the sport just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. As the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area, there's no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. It's called you got all thinking about a fucking girl and you hyped yourself up, bitch. I sidestepped the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming maybe? There's a pool here. You were? Very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before. You just need to take care not to overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on a desk, obviously content. Good, that's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. I'm ushered out before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and auxiliary building, although to my eyes they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they are going, and I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red bricks. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. As like the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the ends of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. It seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here are small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seems to have a toilet and a shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplate on the rooms are adjacent to mine are blank, so I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from the door below room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello, is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements and clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. Welcome to one of my favorite characters in the game, and I think the only other male we actually get to interact with who's not a teacher. I wonder why he has a Harry Potter scarf. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He's looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Who is it? Blind? No, not at least completely. Why else would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hizao Nakai. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce my... His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting almost straight up to my diaphragm. Yeah, this guy's gonna be fun. Oh, sup, dude. The name's Kenji. Hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. Also, this guy, the way he kind of is described, kind of sounds like the son of Wario right now. There were some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? 'Cause they could have been some other people, too. You can't judge a book by its cover. As out of place proverb was left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shuddered to make some exaggerated hand gestures. Bleh. You're a brave man, Izzo. Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you're smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind, doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119. Lake beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. It's no one's room, impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. I noticed pinned on the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi, Hik-chan. We've unpanned your things and made your bed. They said if these things don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. Aww. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kinda hoped I would have, that there were to be something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something when I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me from wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming, and for the entire day today too. I still am, I think. Damn, I have to distract myself somehow, so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now... The bottles of medications neatly arranged on my night table catches my eye. I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, and then read the glued-on pharmacy label. Isanakai, 2 tablets daily to stay alive. It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kinda twisted having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain. And after that, I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. Doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. And so ends day 1 of Katawa Shoujo. I wake up in a strange room. Solemn morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. This is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the 3rd room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that indeed it's me who's supposed to be the one living here. My bag's on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. Stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from the foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sleets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothing. Clothes, whatever. Bleh. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. Blech. It feels like a school uniform, as it should, but it's not much different from what I used to wear before. It goes for other things too. So far this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday. Misha's consistent laughter, and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? Didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. All through class, a question remains in my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that top is perfectly and evenly flat. That face, though! That freaking face she has is like my favorite. Sorry, Shik-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Whoa! Well, that was weird. Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hik-chan. My first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha, please don't prove me right. Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There's also school events like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So, you actually transferred in at a busy time. Maybe you can help us out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. Wahaha! I don't know, Hik-chan. The truth is, it's a local event. I'm not from this area, so... She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts signing hard and heavy. The fuck? Just the way that's described is so weird. Huh? Oh. Who cares? Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see the heads turning to look in our direction. Not so loud. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time. Now it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prizes. Ha ha ha. The funniest part is that they're right here. Every festival that you have will have some deep meaning, but it just slowly changes over time as people forget what it's really about. This happens in a couple of Japanese festivals, I believe. It's like with kind of New Year's, where New Year's is not really anything but fireworks now, when it used to be celebrating our freedom. The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though, brushing it off without a care. We are in the middle of class and should start working. That's right, Shik-chan. What? That's right. Hik-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? Her freaking face! Shizune makes the weirdest fucking faces when she's interested in something. I don't know why. And then she just has a little cat face. I don't know why. It's just, what the fuck, Shizune? It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchange between them. Misha's tone has also changed, although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long, dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl go bleh. Why doesn't he say anything? Hik-chan, is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me, looking after the girl who left? No, nothing. Huh. Okay. Well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. Yay! Wahaha! Okay, Hik-chan, perfect. The rest of the class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Before I had the time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks more than a little annoyed that we just barely managed to finish all of our work on time. I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. Yes, it is, Hik-chan. Impossible. Really? Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really? Shizune can't hear me, and it would be disrespectful to talk through her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing and will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest because contests are competitions won over a prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. Ha! Are you sure, Hik-chan? Very sure. Haha, you're wrong, Hik-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Wahaha! That freaking face. Shizune pushes her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings, and she quickly gets up and picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. I'd almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. Where do you want to eat? In the cafeteria? Aha, that's so plain. Okay, let's go. Plain? Well, I guess. At my old school, I like to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot. But I didn't find it till the near end of my freshman year. I wonder if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Shizune and Misha pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had box lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. So, Hik-chan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right, Chik-chan? Okay, I guess it makes some sense to ask first. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech. Hik-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? Besides, girls, I don't think he does. Alright. I used to play soccer, but I'm not ready to move really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There's a book club, right, Chick-chan? Right, but seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hick-chan, it's a really popular club. Okay. But more to the point, Hick-chan, does this mean you don't have anything in mind already? Not really. Good, great, that's great, Hick-chan, really great, ha ha ha! I'm the daughter of Wario. Why is it so great? No reason. Well, Hick-chan, other than clubs and the upcoming festival, there's one thing. Student Council! I see. I didn't know this school had a student council. That makes me that was a very melodramatic setup, though. Just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this, because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says. Right. Hick-chan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, for one, we can hang out every day, Hick-chan. Shik-chan and I are both in a student council. Actually, Shik-chan is the president. Starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not be exactly the most unbiased people to talk about this with. No dir! As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. Haha! Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try to get you to. So you're just trying to... no. We admit nothing. I mean, Hick-chan, of course it would be nice if you joined, and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the school council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Yep, it's true, Hick-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hick-chan? I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is just a really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they are already pretty cute to begin with. Well, so it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hick-chan. What? No! Aw, see, Hick-chan, of course it wouldn't go this easily. So easily. Whatever. Yep, that's right. Though it would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Hick-chan owes me candy now. You were betting on it? Hey, my life is not a game here! The irony in this statement is great. Shizune seems intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. Wahaha, that's interesting, Hick-chan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hick-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Aw, why not? Well, because you both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal. But what this means is that both of you can team up and I'll have a clear disadvantage. So I will have to decline. Hick-chan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us and that we pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad. Sorry? It's hard to tell whether Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No! How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? Paper football? Yeah, together they play in America! You make a paper triangle, and then you try to shoot it past goalposts that the other player makes with their fingers. Player? But it was around me. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hit-chan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children. Shik-chan? Wahaha, that means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Ha, yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hik-chan? Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I really can say I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even know anyone who was a member. So it interests me. I also kinda like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, Hik-chan, what about Risk? It's the game of world domination. I don't know what that is. It's really fun, Hik-chan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Ah, really, Shik-chan? We can play just for fun. Hik-chan. Shik-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached. Well, okay. Okay. Perfect! We'll see you after school in the student council room, then. Hik-chan? Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. I'm laughing like a freaking Wario. Agreements to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. During afternoon classes, a long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed at enough people to have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell. Well then. Wahaha! What's wrong, Hik-chan? Ha! That's right, we're just gonna play a game of Risk, remember? I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I started thinking that when we sit down and play the game, they'll tie me and torture me until I agree to join their student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it'd be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. That's not true, Hik-chan. Sik-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off a superhuman burst of speed. Life is threatened. Her expression unchanging, Misha is saying something amusingly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that! I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. His very plain, sparsely decorated room. Although it's quite large and it may be even a little larger than a classroom. God fucking damn it, phone! There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. Ugh. Jesus. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something. But the most noticeable thing is that this room doesn't have other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean, no? Does that mean no one else is coming today? Huh. Yeah, that's right. Oh, voice crack. Sorry. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. Hick-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Haha. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain it to you while we set up everything. Everything up, whatever. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha explains a little too long and for her liking running around through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arms through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off on me. I start to feel more competitive than I intended it to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Hick-chan, Shik-chan wants you to know that you are taking too long to make a move. Shik-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no! Shik-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. I love this, actually. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Magnanimous? She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples, as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly Shizune bursts into a fury of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Wait, please slow down, Shik-chan. Hick-chan, Shik-chan says you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her with her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. Those eyes shine with childlike mischief. She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't. Alright, this is actually where we're going to leave off for now. Next time, I will show you what is the correct path. Playing defensively or attacking aggressively. Till then, see you guys next time. And remember, keep all the weird stuff for YouTube. Bye.